children. Welcome to part 2. This is the second day of your, the first day you laid out all your slabs. You got them all cut, they're the same size. And now they're all leather hard. So camera man, lady, camera lady, check out our slabs. So they're not, I don't want to bend these, but I can't because they're all leather hard now, okay? They're perfect and they're ready to start building. Now, essentially what I'm going to build at first is a cube. So every single piece I'm going to use the smaller side. That's a 45-degree angle. Do you agree? Yes. There's a lot of math in this project. This is a 45-degree angle. I'm going to pinch this wire so that pulls it tight, and I'm going to, so you get a good close-up on this. I'm going to set this down, and then I'm going to cut every single side. Okay, so I'm going to cut all good thing that's not a super annoying sound, right?
Got the noise.
It's a little bit satisfying. Maybe we'll speed this part up so that you can't hear the noise. No, I'm not going to take that much time to edit a video. I'm not getting paid on YouTube.
It's like those satisfying videos on Twitter.
Okay, now I've got all of my pieces cut. So watch what's going to happen. Let's say that I like this one for the bottom. No, I like this one. Okay, you watching? It's perfect, right? Oh, look here. I'm gonna do this side. Perfect, right? Okay. So I'm going to score all those sides that I just cut, and then put some water down. And then I'm going to press those together really firmly. So I'm pushing it in, and I want to make sure that I didn't trap any air, and I'm going to kind of tap it like this and thump it together because I want a really firm join. But that's not good enough, okay? To make sure that this does not come apart later, I'm going to take a little coil of fresher clay. I'm going to make sure that that join is a little bit moist, and then press a coil of clay into the center. And I'm gonna, again, I'm holding the outside, and I'm gonna go in and compress that coil in and smooth that out. And then I'm ready to do the next. Side. So this one, I need to press the bottom first, and then I'm going to press those edges together on the side. And now I've got to fill that corner. I'm gonna make you guys watch me make this whole box. So again, you can't just push the clay into the corner. You've got to be supporting it from the outside as you're going. Otherwise, you're just going to push it apart. So it's easier if you take the time right now to make the inside as smooth as you can. Because once you get the box almost completely made, it's going to become more difficult to get your hands inside the box to make it look nice. You got an aerial view of this, cameraman? Come right over here. Can you see inside?
I see you. Thank you. In your...
Don't worry, we'll edit out your sneeze.
It's beautiful.
Okay, now, oh, we're almost there. So this math is going to be important in this project, because if your squares initially are not all the same size, it's not going to go together right. So you need to make sure that you're taking the time to cut your angles as straight as you can, and make sure that you really squeeze these together as well as you can. This one slab is a little bit soft, and this one is a little bit harder, and they're not wanting to go together very well. Make sure that you don't add too much water when you're doing the scoring and slipping, because it'll just get messy. See, and this is already like too small for my giant hands to fit in here.
Usually you can do a project.
And if you don't get this, especially these corners and these edges, if you don't get them compressed, and if you don't get clay added into each corner, it's not going to stay, and it'll just fall apart when it dries or when it fires. So it's really important that you score, slip, and compress it as well as you can. So here's the last step, and this is the tricky part. Now, if we really wanted to, we could do what this student did. If you get a shot of this, when they cut the lid, they didn't attach the lid. They just left it like this. They put a knob on the top, and that's the lid. But if you did it really well, if you were very precise in cutting your slabs out, that'll work, and that's fine. So that'll make an acceptable lid, and that's okay. My recommendation is to score and slip this on. Now, what's the problem with doing it this way?
Just close it up.
I can't put the coil on the inside, right? And I can't open it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cut a lid like this one, okay? So what I'm going to do first, before I do anything else, is I'm going to take one of these sticks, and every single edge I'm going to compress down together. This is going to help not just square up the edges, but it's gonna help compress those edges together. Now, let's say that I made this and I'm not completely 100% satisfied with there it is. Found it. Stop looking. I'm not 100% satisfied with how square and perfect my shape is. So here's where I can use the surf form. I have a few that are like this, but even the smaller yellow ones that are round will work. This is easier when it's leather hard. This is maybe just slightly too soft to do this right now, but you can just very gently shave the edges and that will make them very flat and all the same plane. Okay, so I could spend lots of time doing this, but for demonstration purposes, that'll suffice. So I have a nice looking cube. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is cut the lid opening. So my recommendation is I had to fix that, it was bugging me. To do an opening or a lid that's either zigzaggy or has kind of teeth, that will help give the lid somewhere to grab. Even this one is not great because if it goes this way or this way, it'll just slide off. This way, it doesn't slide off either way that way, but this way it does kind of. So as long as you have an uneven or jagged cut, it will work. And it also helps if you do it at a slight, like a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to start here. And I'm not really planning this out. And I'm kind of doing my lid in the top like third of the box. Now I can, once I have this open, I can go back. This is where my top was. I'm going to make sure that I go back and add in that extra coil on the inside there so that it does not come apart later on. So I still have a lot of cleanup left to do, but essentially that's my box finished and done. I'm gonna clean up the mouth where the box lid opens. I also feel like this is okay. That's a little bit thick for a project. So this would be a good idea or a good time to start carving a design into the outside of the box for two reasons. One, because I want it to look nice. And two, it'll remove a little bit of the clay and make it a little bit lighter. So it's not like a brick so much. And then I'm gonna wanna, I mean, with a lid like this, it's okay to open it like that, but it is better if you have some sort of handle on the top so that you can lift your box lid open. Did we nail it? Did we nail it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cut.